All right, so we are live back again with an yet another episode of Inspiring Talks. So, Inspiring Innovators Talk with Kirtan. I'm very excited to have today here Mr. Rajat Singhania. So, joining us from Gujarat, Vadodara. So, I'm all happy and excited to actually introduce you and another innovator and an entrepreneur and a problem solver who is actually joining us for this amazing show today. I know for sure you're already getting a lot of value every single week in learning from the best of the best people. I can see people already giving thumbs ups, keep giving more and more thumbs ups, and start sharing this particular things with other people as well, because we know that the reason why we started this particular series is because we know a lot of people, specifically youths, are going through unemployment problem, underemployment problem, and lack of direction. So not knowing what is that exactly I need to be doing, so not having enough paths, right? So not having enough clues that what is that they need to be doing. So now we bring in you the experts here who have already been there and done that, right? So they know the challenges of building a career, having a lot of experience. So today we have Rajat sir here. Actually, I'm really excited to have you, sir, on this particular show. Very excited to know a lot more about your journey and your story as well.
Thank you so much, Kirtan. It's my pleasure to be here. It's great what you're doing. It's inspiring because all of us at some point, and especially students, they have a lot of questions, lot of concerns, what to do, what happens next. And when such unusual things happen, there are a lot of concerns. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm happy to help in any way I can. Thank you so
Fantastic.
much for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to talk to all your people in community. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, sir, again. And I also want to welcome all the people who are joining in every single week to actually learn and grow from every single innovator and entrepreneurial journey here. So I want you to type it down. Where are you guys just joining in from? Just type it down. I can see people typing it down. Yashaswini, very excited. So fantastic. So type it down. So where are you actually guys coming from? So type it down, your city, your district. So where are you guys coming in from? Type your name and district. So as we move forward in this particular journey, I'll be also calling out the names of the people who are actually typing their names and their city here, right? So till that time, so let's actually understand more about your journey. So how did it all started, Rajat? Tell us, our audience, how your journey started, when you actually started from your college days to actually building your business ventures. So how did it all started?
Okay. So, Kirtan, I'm originally from Delhi. I'm an alumni from St. Columbus School, Delhi, followed by my college, SRCC, Shri Ram College of Commerce, Delhi. So, I'm a graduate of commerce, and it was Delhi was a totally different life. And after I finished my studies, so my dad's been a professional. He's worked with different. He's been helping family businesses take care of things. So we really didn't have a business of our own then. So I decided, okay, the choice was obviously there, whether follow my father's footsteps or decide to do something on my own.
Hmm.
So well, I said, okay, let's dabble, let's try something else. So set up first business. So one of the first things we did was, I'm talking about almost 30 years ago. I've got about 30 years of business experience. So one of the first things we set up was a business for security printing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see today, the bank checks which we all use every day. So 30 years ago, the checks were very different
Hmm.
and things were different. So we were one of the first people, we were amongst the three people who received permission from RBI, and we used to print those checks way back then.
Wow.
So that was with a partner, and then ultimately we did sell that business, and we sold our stake. But that was my first exposure to business.
Hmm.
So along the journey, I've done about more than half a dozen different businesses. So we sold some, we closed some, and we still have a few businesses running independently and professionally managed. So I'll talk about the businesses which we are still doing.
Sure.
So, so one of the businesses which we established about 25 years ago is working with one of the cement majors in the country, and we created a distribution network for them. in parts of Gujarat.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a network of more than 300 different retail sale points
Mm-hmm.
spread over Baroda, Bharuch, and Surat, where we sell cement through these retail outlets to hundreds and thousands of customers. And we do all the coordination with the company between the dealers, ensure deliveries, and take care of them. Have an entire team who takes care of it. And that's something we've been doing for 20 years. So that's one thing we do. The other thing which we do is about 20 years ago, we saw a huge opportunity when India was opening up as the back office of the world. So that's when we set up our second significant business, which is functioning even today, uh, where we became the back office for numerous clients working in US and Canada, primarily lawyers and doctors. So we were doing the back office work for them and processing information sent by them and giving them a significant value. So those were two significant things, keeping with the times and adding value. So as a person, I always, whenever I'm doing something, I like to find a better way to do things. So in both these businesses, I was able to um, add value by helping him optimize the processes. So what we ended up doing that in the cement business, we worked hard with the company and our network to change the payment requirements. When I started the business, it was very normal for people to work with a 45-day credit limit.
Hmm.
So one fine day we decided, okay, this has to change. Why does it have to be such a huge, credit limit? So, and 45 days was the minimum. It would go up to 60, 65, 75 days.
Oh.
So one fine day we decided, and we made a plan with the company and within the confidence, and we made a complete revamp and changes and brought the outstanding down from 45 days. It was an average of 60 days actually, to first 15 days, and then to 5 days.
Oh, wow.
So as a result, and that became the norm and barometer going forward, and that's what sustained and happened, and that's what works even today. So on the transcriptions and the data management and the back office operation, so India became the back office of the world, but there was a huge gap there because people in India, I'm talking about 20 years ago, were not very well aware of the kind of quality requirements for international standards.
Mm-hmm.
As a result, the processes used to go through multiple levels, multi tiers, which obviously added to the cost and the timelines to make it happen. So there, we decided that, okay, how do the models work globally and internationally? And we had a lot of trainings and mentoring sessions internally for our teams to make sure they understand the value of quality. We gave them their pays higher than the industry standards
Hmm.
to make sure that they could give better quality.
Hmm.
And at that time, the industry used to work with 3 to 4 levels of quality checks. And slowly, we were able to reduce them from 4 to 2 levels over 3 years now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so now that added two significant benefits for us. So first was it obviously brought down the cost significantly, but then more importantly, it reduced the time required to complete the work and get it back to the client.
Fantastic. So here in this particular journey, so I want to actually make the audience also very very clear about your journey. So I'm already finding certain golden nuggets here, because sometimes what will happen when you are sharing about your global journey, when you are sharing about creating a distribution network in India. So I'm hearing this again and again: productivity, productivity, productivity. In a way, how you are sharing your results, all the
Yeah.
things are coming with productivity. And what people do not understand while they are building their career is that they do not understand how do they grow forward in their life, right? Like for example, you gave an example. I really loved that example when you said the credit timing, right? So it used to be 45 days or average on a 60 days. So how you actually bring that back to 15 days or even 5 days as a norm, right? So creating that. So I always say that people, when we are actually going through various different sessions, there are four important things in order to add value in the marketplace, whether you are doing a career or you are actually inside a company or you're building a company. Like how can you actually make more money or save money, or how can you save time and make more time because of people and various other things, right? So how is that productivity? So you also shared your journey of like when you have to go forward with the international market, right? So you also said that so we have to train our people, because one thing that most of the people, when they are actually starting out something or they want to build something, so they do not understand the value of people. So you also shared about so how much important it is in order to actually invest in people, and also you gave some salary which is actually above the industry standard in that particular time, and you actually pioneered that particular market. Fantastic. So now I want you to continue your journey and let's get more and more golden nuggets on that.
No, Kirtan, you made very good points. As luck would have it, before getting to my current business, all my businesses have been about productivity, optimizing the processes, and making the best use of the resources at our disposal. And time and money are the two most elusive resources, because time is something, it is always finite. There is no way you can only save time, you cannot add time. And
Absolutely.
money is something which is everybody's desire, and time and money have a very uncanny connection. So you need to optimize both together, and that's the best situation. So anyway, going forward, so we've been doing those two businesses, and then about 4.5 years ago, we started a boutique service as a service to for our existing clients by creating customized software and mobile apps.
Hmm.
So let me tell you, I've always been in technology. I have had a lot of interest and attraction towards technology. So I'll just take a step back. So my connect with technology is about 35 years old, even before I got into business. So in fact, our school was the first school in the country which introduced computer science as a class 12, 11, and 12 subject.
Hmm.
So our school is a kind of has the credit of bringing computer education to India about 35 years ago. So we were the first batch studying computing science, and I've done coding in BASIC, COBOL, and DB3 about 35 years ago, when not many people knew about it. In fact, as a school project, I made a complete accounting software back then, for which I got an award from my school. And this is way before Tally was even thought of, which is now a benchmark, and it's
Fantastic.
a damn good product. So so anyway, so on technology always attracted me. So we started doing customized software and mobile apps as a boutique service to our existing people. And along that journey, one fine day I was attending a meeting with at some. It was a convention kind of a thing, and some information popped up on my screen, and I swiped it, thinking I'll come back to it later. And next day, once I was back in the office, I just could not find it. I spent a lot of time trying to find it, and it was not to be found. And that set me thinking that there has to be a better way to manage such situations. Obviously, on hindsight, I could have managed it better, but then destiny has a way to make things happen. So maybe that happened to open a door and set me thinking. So then I spoke to other people, that do other people also face this problem? And I realized, yes, a lot of people face this problem. And then I asked a lot of people in technology, is there any solution to this problem? And I was told, no, there is not. And people are looking for a solution to this problem. And that's how the journey of my startup started. So I said, okay, let's try to do something different. because obviously we I had two businesses running, and it was a comfortable spot to be in. But I said, let's get out of the comfort zone and try to do something different, which is out of the ordinary and which will help a lot of people at large. So that's how the journey of my current product Highlight started. So we had a initial prototype ready in about 8 9 months, got it validated by certain people, and then we started creating a complete product around it. So we obviously a lot of validation, test cycles, testing the people, going back and forth, because there was a lot of R&D involved. So then at times we had some gaps for various reasons. So finally, in after 3.5 years, we had a live saleable product in February of this year, second half of February. It's a unique solution. We have patents filed in India, US, globally, etc. And the solution is Highlight is a secured, unified information management and business collaboration platform, which is also, as luck would have it, essentially a productivity product to help you save significant of time as a result in money, and simultaneously be on top of any and all information which matters to you in life, which is why the name Highlight. So that's
Fantastic.
how we reached here. So
Fantastic, fantastic. So that's really, really amazing to know the journey of you building multiple systems. So I will go with couple of questions in this particular
sure,
journey, and then we'll explore more about the Highlight journey, right?
sure.
So specifically, one thing that so I actually saw like in the topic also we have this particular thing as the like how you have successfully built multiple ventures. So how you have become a serial entrepreneur doing all of this particular things, but here is something that what goes in people that like so when we actually distribute our focus or building multiple systems, so I always a true believer of building multiple systems, like it's very important to build multiple systems because it's like having a multiple taps on, right? And also you get to make an impact in lot more people's life, and also you will be able to make it profitably as well, right? So what is your opinion or what is your suggestions to people when they are actually building out their venture? So start with one, start adding more to that, which are feeding to each other. I call this as feeding to each other, which are supportive. Like I saw that feeding to each other happening in you initially started with software and mobile solution for hotels and boutiques, right? So that is where you started that particular journey, and then slowly you added up various productivity tools which is going to be helpful for the people, so which means it's feeding to each other, right? So having the idea and making it happen. So what is your opinion or what is your suggestions for people who are going in building multiple ventures?
So, it is we as humans, we have a lot of skills and abilities. Now, it is up to us how we use those abilities. Now, multitasking is a reality which we all can do and we end up doing. Now, the challenge is to what extent you do it and how well you're able to balance it. Now, just to address your question, which one point which I failed to mention earlier. So, we once we started working on this product, so then the customized software and mobile apps, we let it remain as a boutique service. So it is not really, that's why I call it a boutique service rather than a business, because we are not actively working on that business to promote that business.
Mm-hmm.
So that business is kind of, there's a team. I have a tech head who takes care of it. And the business comes from existing clients, or if they refer someone, and then my tech team takes care of it and it gets done. So, when you're trying to set up a business, for it to be successful, it requires your undivided attention.
True.
That's a non-negotiable.
True.
So for all your listeners, because you need to decide what is most important for you, because whatever is most important, that is where you'll end up spending most of your time and effort. What are you passionate about?
True. True.
So passion, interest, focus, these are all very essential requirements to make anything successful.
True. 100%. I totally agree with that, right? So, specifically, without the focus, without the passion, without the undivided attention, which you said non negotiable while building the system. But, like, I understood from your journey is that so when you were doing that particular software business initially, right now it is completely taken care, which means that you have invested your time in building the people, and now people are building the business, right? So, that is something that what is actually currently happening right now, right? So could you actually share a bit of,
Yeah.
because I always know that like any building any system is simple, but people are complicated. So how was your journey of building people in this 30 years of your journey in building multiple ventures?
So, well, as the luck would have it, all my businesses are people centric. So, one thing I've worked hard on from day one is obviously trying to choose the right people and making sure that they understand the culture, what we work with, making them feel as part of the organization and family, and thinking that this is the place they want to be. Now, so as a result, uh, in I think my 30 years, we would have had over 100 people working for us for a long period of time over the years across our businesses. I don't think in 30 years I would have fired 3 people also for my business, because firing is never a solution. Training and realigning and uh, getting the people to buy into your vision, that is the most important thing. uh, uh, I believe that you fire one person, what is the surety the next one will be better than the one you fire? And the person is there to work. He's joined your business because he wants to earn money. He has a family to support. Now, obviously, when he's there to work because he has a family to support, he wants to do a good job out of it. If he's not doing a good job, then maybe there's something which either he's not getting the right message from you, or maybe he's not understanding. So it always helps to talk, whether you talk, make your manager or someone else talk, try to understand a problem and find a solution. There is always a solution.
Hmm.
What happens is most times people do not talk.
Hmm.
There was an interesting comment I made, which I think one of the journals published it. We are living in an age when we are trying to make machines and products talk to each other, and we have still not excelled in making humans talk to each other.
True, 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 totally true. So that is where a lot of miscommunication happens. That is where a lot
Yes.
of assumptions happens, and that is where people just create their own beliefs and just have communication problems, and the relationship problems evolves, and it goes into
Uh,
hatred and nastiness, right? So that is where many
See,
organizations get into that.
Kirtan, a very basic thing. Besides money, what does any person want? They want to feel needed. They want to be feel as part of the organization.
True.
There are basics. See, money is of course important to everybody, but I have seen enough situations where money is not the only reason a person will stay with you.
True.
So that's the culture you need to build in the organization. And I'm proud to say, in my business, I have people working with me for 20 years, 25 years. They started as a junior. Today, they are heading my divisions and businesses, and like they're happy. Obviously, it's an ongoing, continuous journey, and every day I'm learning new things. They are learning new things, and that's how it happens.
Hmm. Hmm. Fantastic. So, because see, one thing that what you actually said, as you said initially, it could be through luck. It cannot be through luck for 20 years. Definitely, you have that particular thing in order to make them be there with you, be passionate with you, in order to support your ventures and visions and take it forward, right? So, but here is something that I hear out from a lot of system builders who are actually building their team initial journey, like 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. They always have this wavering mind of team joining in them, and then after some time, so leaving them, right? So which means that what is actually happening is the loyalty challenge. But you had the experience of working with the similar kind of people or same people for the 20 years. What is that one thing do you think that creates loyalty? So as you already mentioned, it is not money. So if not money, then what it is? So what is that one thing you think that creates loyalty?
Be frank, honest with your people. If they see that you're saying something else and doing something else, they will never be loyal to you.
Fantastic, fantastic.
So, that's what I said. Make them feel as part of the process.
Hmm. Fantastic.
Like with my people, whether it's a peon to my CEO person in charge, I have an open door policy. Anybody can pick up the phone, call me, come in and talk to me. They can talk anything. There are no holds barred. In fact, like with my sales teams, I tell them it's your responsibility to once we decide that okay, this is what we want to do as a business. It's if you want me to do something, you follow up with me because you are the owner of the action. Don't think that once you tell me and if I don't get back, you can't tell me again. Nag me like you would nag anybody else in the team because it's your responsibility to get it done. So we kind of become equal at some level. Of course, it doesn't mean that the it is at all levels, but I give them that freedom to feel that they are responsible. It's their responsibility. So that's the different ways to create connect with your culture, your value system, and with your organization.
Fantastic. So here is quick takeaways for all the audience. So in order to in your initial journey of building the team, so as a leader or as a person who is building a system, it's very important what you say, what you think, and what you do should match, right? And
True.
second thing that what you said is that you need to make people part of the process. It's not like my work is different, your work is different. Let's all work together, right? So we bring in that
Yeah.
responsibility culture rather than reactive culture, right? So I did this, you
True.
did this, like that, to bringing responsibility. Let's all do it together. And the kinds of value and the culture what we create overall in the team is going to create a super duper awesome team.
Absolutely.
Fantastic, fantastic. So now here is my next question to you, Rajatji. Here, so specifically, you said about your interest towards technology, because usually sometimes what will happen is that even though they are engineers, right, they hate coding, they hate like creating something. Like how did that, like how did you figure that out? Like guys, if you are really enjoying this, loving this, give some thumbs ups, hearts, all the emotions. So whatever is there, just give that particular things out, and also share it with your loved ones or the people who should actually see this particular episode, so that this will reach to as many people as possible. Yes, I can see people typing it down. Fantastic. So thank you, and also keep communicating. I'll be taking the names here. So I see Ramya here, I see Yashaswini, I see Harshadas here, I see Shreya Suresh. I see Satwik Nayak engaging. Fantastic. So keep engaging here. So yes, I see Sharan Yu Shetty. Yes, fantastic guys. So yeah, so that's my next question. That like, how did you actually figure that out? Your passion in technology to build a product in technology.
Okay, so if you want my honest answer, it never, when we started building it, we never thought it will go this way.
Mhm.
So, initially it was okay, dabbling to create something as a solution for myself and as a showcase to tell people, oh, okay, okay, let me just take a step back. I remember I told you we had started that boutique business of customized software and mobile apps.
Correct.
Since we were doing it as a limited business for people, so people wanted references and we were bound by NDAs and we were unable to give references and give client names. So we had to find a way around it. So we said, okay, let's try and create some product of our own which showcases what kind of skills and strengths we have, and we'll use that as a reference point. Okay, this is the kind of things we can do for you. And we were kind of debating, my CTO and me, we were kind of debating for a long time what to do. And in between, this episode happened. So, like they say, destiny has a way of playing its part in the journey. So, even when this happened, we said, okay, wow, great opportunity. Let's create this as a product to show what we can do. And it was just, we thought it would be just more of a showcase product to get orders for our other business. Now, in between, what happened, I'm not sure if your readers are aware, there's an organization called TIE, TIE.
Correct.
So that's an organization of entrepreneurs all over the world through various TIE chapters. So TIE Silicon Valley, which is one of the leading chapters in the bodies, they have an annual competition where they choose 50 products or technologies from maybe 1,000 different ones, which they feel are going to really help people in general. And just on a whim, I kind of submitted the form. And within 2 weeks, we got a response that we are selected as a TIE 50 finalist.
Wow.
And I said, oh my God, like this is big. I'm sitting here doing business in India, and here it's we were at a concept stage. We had a thought. We, of course, we had a prototype, and Silicon Valley TIE organization is saying that this is like a top 50, and they chose us out of 1,200 different products globally.
Wow.
I said, okay, this requires now serious thoughts. So obviously, then that one incident kind drove, that was the wow aha moment. It kind of set a lot of things in motion, and it made us kind of replan the entire business and personal landscape. So we said, okay, now this is destined to be bigger. So let's give it some more time, effort, and see how big we can make this. Because if a global organization whom we have no connection to, we had no connection at all. Obviously, after that, I have become friends and connected to a lot of people in the organization. But when we did the initial application, I knew nobody. It was just a random thing done. So I said, okay, let's grow it. So we then started working actively on this. And I realized that this is something which has a huge potential. And next year, okay, no, sorry, I'm sorry, before next year, then that same year, we were nominated by Echelon Asia out of Singapore as a top 100 product.
Wow.
Few months later, we were nominated by Rice Hong Kong again as a top 100. And then next year, again 2018, TIE again nominated us as a top 50. I
Wow.
said, so I said, like four things happening in 1 year. I said, okay, I think I'm being told this is what I should be doing. So let me not stop it midway, and let me continue doing this, because probably that's what's meant to be. So,
Amazing, amazing, amazing. The
so
journey has been really, really amazing to actually watch, like how universe have supported you and told you that as you kept it as a side project, it is started becoming main project as well.
yes,
Fantastic.
absolutely. Very honestly, when we started, it was just not planned to be a main project, and things kept happening, and it today becomes a significant project.
Fantastic, fantastic. So tell us our audience a bit more about that, like how it is actually useful and what all the unique features are, how it is completely different from the all the available market products, and how it is unique. So what is your USP on that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so as I mentioned, Highlight is a secured and unified information management and business collaboration platform rolled into one. Now, before moving forward, let's take data or information. Living in a digital world, we are all flooded with information. We have information coming from a lot of places, right?
True.
And all this information or data we can broadly classify into three types. Number one, spam, safe to delete. Number two, information, good to have. We may need it at some point in the future. And number three, critical. We need it always accessible, maybe even on our fingertips, because that is what helps us in our decision making and helps to drive our life and business. Now, Highlight is ideally suited for category 3. It's capable of handling category 2 also, but its best value is for taking care of category 3. Now, how does it connect to a real life situation? Now, I'm sure we all use emails, right? I don't think any of us are without emails today, right?
Every
Now, all of us, right? So let's say out of 100 emails you receive in on any given period of time, maybe 5 or 7 emails will be the ones which are really useful and which help you decide something about your business. Similarly, we all use any kind of chat and collaboration platforms. It's become part of our lives, right?
true.
Instant messaging or chatting. Now, again, out of maybe 100 messages you receive on any platform, maybe 5 or 10 or 15 messages might be those which you would want to keep to come back and look at them tomorrow, day after, 7 days later, for deciding something about your life or your business. Out of maybe 100 or 200 files on your cloud storage, again, maybe 10 or 20 files you might need on your fingertips, always available, because you never know what information you might need when. Or maybe out of 20 browser tabs, 2 tabs or 2 paragraphs on any tab, you might need to keep looking at it multiple times a day or at regular intervals for any updated information. And the list goes on and on. It's not limited to 4. It could be any 10, 15, 20 different places. The 4 I chose are the ones we all use every day. Now, as you can see, you can have category 2 and category 3 information. It's sitting at all these places. So just talk about category 3, the critical information at all these places. Can you think of a simple and easy way to save, organize, manage all this important information sitting at different places today? Is there an easy way to do that?
No, there are a lot of tits and bits here and there softwares, but not a one software which actually does all of that together.
Exactly. So that's exactly what Highlight is all about. So Highlight lets you pull and save any information from any platform in 1, 2, or 3 clicks onto Highlight.
Hmm.
So we help you save in an easy and instant way in any information from any place. Now, in order to give Highlight the ability to be a unified information management platform, Highlight ended up doing the functions of 6 different product categories at one place.
Wow.
So Highlight in a way is 6 products in one. So which are the 6 product categories? Number one, collaboration. It could be like any of the collaboration and chat platforms you use today. So anything, any other collaboration chat platform can do, Highlight can do it at one single place. Note taking, text notes. There are multiple platforms to help you do that. So anything you can do on any other platform, you can do on Highlight as well. Managing reminders. Again, anything you can do on any other platform, you can do on Highlight as well. Calendars. Anything you can do on any platform, you can do on Highlight as well. Video conference. Again, anything you can do on any other platform, you can do on Highlight as well. And number 6, file management. Anything you can do on any cloud storage platform, you can do on Highlight as well. So what happens here is Highlight actually becomes 6 products in one. Now, like I said, we're not looking to replace any of the products you're using today. Our bigger value add is enhancing your user experience and giving you much more power by using Highlight along with the current products you're using. But by being 6 products in one, Highlight gives you the ability to have all formats of information on the same platform. So you could have a chat conversation, a text note, a reminder, calendar, video conference, file management, everything happening on the same platform. So all different formats of information coexisting in the same ecosystem, same platform, easy to pull it from everywhere. So which is why it's secured and unified information management. So, but we said, okay, we've got all the information here, different formats, got it in easily. Now, how do we make that information even more powerful? So then a lot of brainstorming with the team, we came up with another unique thing. So Today, if you're not looking to save any information, the only way you can save information today is by creating a file in a folder on a drive. Now,
True.
the drive can be local or cloud, and folder can be part of another folder to create your tree structure. But ultimately, it's a linear connect point to point, right? There's a single line.
Correct.
So we change that. So on highlight, it becomes a matrix. So every piece of information, besides being connected to a folder, can be connected to multiple pieces of information across different folders. So you could have 500 pieces of information sitting in 50 different folders of 10 different formats, but they are all interconnected on highlight. Now, it might sound complicated, but actually it's very simple. That's how all your search engines work. That's how all the information is interconnected at the back end, which you see on the front end as a search engine where you're searching for information. So we are giving you that kind of technology for your own data. So we actually tell people that we make your information 10 times more powerful and help you create the Google of your own data. That is the power we bring to your information.
Wow.
So we are kind of a ERP for information management. It's a very elaborate product with lots of functions and features, but we have kept it really simple to use. So it's as simple to use as probably email or WhatsApp or any of the common products we use today. But add to it all the unique functions and features of the world's leading products, and you add to it the Indian innovation. It's a very power packed product, which is simple or gives you information all yours in your fingertips and makes it really easy for you.
Fantastic.
So one of our we tell people that use highlight, and it makes you powerful, productive, and profitable. Is that not what life and business is all about?
Correct. Correct. Absolutely amazing. So in this particular journey, so I got a question from audience here. His name is Satvik Nayak. So he's asked this question, sir, how do you manage your busy schedule by smiling and being so cool? So how do you do that?
Well, okay. I like to stay busy. I love working, and that's what drives me. Two things which drive me is meeting people, learning from people. I remember when we had a first conversation, I told you that talking to you, seeing your passion, what you're doing for college innovators, that charges me. And so I love talking to people, and I believe there is always an opportunity to learn something with every person you talk with.
True.
So for me, meeting people charges me, working charges me. For me, my biggest nightmare is waking up in the morning and not having a list of things to do that day.
Hmm. Right. So, can you actually tell us a bit about that? Like, because I seen in the whole journey, in your entrepreneurial journey, in your products, everything is talking about more of productivity. So, can you actually give our community a guidelines on like how do you manage your schedule? Do you have any? So you manage everything on highlight today, or you have any other tools or any other methods that you actually inculcate in terms of actually getting all these particular things done, because you got to talk with people, customers, vendors, right? So many things are there here. So how do you actually do that, because humans have only 24 hours, right? So and there is no possibility of adding time, so how do you do that?
Yes. So one key thing which we did not talk about earlier is delegation.
Hmm.
So it is there, like you just said, everybody has the same number of hours every day, and you can decide how you want to use your 24 hours. Do you want to do something which you can delegate to another person who might do it faster and better? And even if not faster and better, as long as they can do it and they are there, what is the most valuable thing where you can add value,
Hmm.
and what is something you can delegate?
Hmm.
The trick lies in that.
Hmm.
The problem happens when most people think that, oh, I need to do this because nobody else can do it better than me. Agreed. Day one, they cannot do better than you. But at some point, if you do not train them to do it better than you, or as good as you will end up doing this all your life. How will you grow? Because you cannot grow until you are able to pass on some work and responsibilities to others. There's a very famous saying, true leadership is when you can inspire and create other leaders.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you're just being a boss. You're not a leader.
Correct. Fantastic. Fantastic. So it's not just about being a leader, means just a boss, but if you become a leader maker, then you are truly creating the things that whatever that needs to happen so that you can
Yeah.
actually delegate. So because so since you said about that, so about delegation. So like when you are actually delegating certain tasks or work or any of these particular things, so like sometimes it requires follow up time, right? So it lags, it drags, it goes out of time. Like how do you actually manage that particular thing? So do you have
Now,
any specific
I'm
thing?
very happy you mentioned this. See, delegation, accountability, responsibility, follow up, all of them are interconnected.
Hmm.
You delegate and you forget is a recipe for disaster.
Correct.
So, monitoring or some kind of checkpoints are always required until the maturity of the team reaches a level where you don't need to check and they will be able to do it.
Hmm.
There are phases, and that will happen. But until that does not happen, you need to keep monitoring to help it reach there.
Hmm. True, true. So once that self accountability comes in, so that is when it can actually happen independently. Till that time, once, whenever, whatever you are delegating, so it's your responsibility that do not do delegate and forget it. So delegate and follow
That
up
is
accountability. That is the recipe for disaster. You said that, right?
absolutely.
Fantastic, fantastic.
And that it's also what happens is कि so many times we say "अच्छा, तुम कर लेना,"
Hmm.
but the thing is you need to define क्या कर लेना,
Hmm.
because you are a leader, you have a thought process as a business owner, you have something in your mind.
Hmm.
Now, till you do not define it, the person would not know what is expected out of them.
Hmm.
That is another place where many of us as leaders or as bosses sometimes don't do it. We do not define what is expected from the other person.
Hmm.
So we need to define what is expected from the person.
True.
Another, there's a very interesting saying: "What gets measured gets done."
Hmm.
So there are everything cannot be defined and measured, but there are a lot of things which can be defined and measured. At least let's define those.
True. True. Fantastic, fantastic. So, because as you said about this particular thing, so what gets measured that can be improved, right? So, like numbers never lie. If possible, try to bring it in numbers, like
Yeah,
as you said, the defining, so that that parameters can be actually measured, so that it can keep on going forward from there. Fantastic.
true.
Fantastic. So you also shared about your journey into IP. So because there will be people who will be in that early stage journey of building their products and stuff like that. So like when do we know that, like, or how do we identify that this is ready for IP, or like what all the journey or the process that what you have gone through in that particular
You're talking about IP, right?
IP? Yeah.
Yeah. So, see, okay, before I talk about IP, I'll just now people looking to get into a startup or create a startup, get into the startup journey. Couple of things. We have spoke about passion, focus, commitment earlier.
Correct.
Now, I'll just talk about the idea on which you plan to make a startup. I just want to spend a minute on that.
Sure.
You know, so even on the idea on which you want to create a startup, every idea, there are lots of ideas, but you need to figure out, okay, the problem which you feel needs a solution. Does it have a solution? Is it a problem experienced by a lot of people? Can it be commercialized at some point? And is it going to help someone at the end of the day? There has to be some trade-off, some gain happening. Because otherwise, these are all important steps before you decide that, okay, you want to get into this business. Traditional businesses, fine, okay, there are 500 people doing this business. or even there are 10 people doing this business, I'm number 11 or I'm number 500. There's nothing wrong with that. The world needs a lot of people doing the same business. But if you want to get into the startup space, if you see a problem, doesn't mean you jump into it and make that thing. Just the example which I gave you, I had a problem. So first, I spoke to others. Are others having a problem? Are they willing to pay for this? I spoke to tech people that, okay, is there a solution I'm not aware of? And then I struggled for some time to see if to create a solution. So those are necessary things you need to do. Okay. Now coming to the IP. Now IP is very important, and it's good to have. But there are enough examples of businesses who are doing really well without having any IP in place. The best examples are the e-commerce platforms. And
Hmm.
there are so many other examples. There are multiple people doing the same thing and all of them becoming equally big. So IP is important, but just because if something is it's not possible to do an IP does not mean it's a bad business to be in. I just wanted to clear that.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
If you're doing something different and unique, and you know that this is something which has a good potential for growth, etc., please secure your IP, because what it gives you is a bit of a head start. That means that if things actually work out well and you're doing well, so firstly, it will kind of create a barrier to entry that the other person will not be able to do exactly the same thing, and they'll have to find a way around it, which is possible. But at least it will give you some headway and a head start.
True. True. True.
And IP, it may sound very scary, but it is actually not. And the government has a lot of schemes. They have a lot of their impaneled lawyers and other people to help in this. So please do not ignore the importance of IP. It is good to have. If you're looking for investors, you get some extra points if you have some kind of IP. If tomorrow somebody looks to buy you out, you've become a decent size business. Again, the IP can work in your favor to get you a better valuation. So all those things help. So they are not necessity, but it's good if you have them.
Hmm. Fantastic, fantastic. So we have another question here, sir. What was your strong why for starting your independent journey? Like because staying motivated every single day and doing things even when you feel like quitting sometimes because of various situations. So what is your strong why to keep doing so many things? What is your
Well,
motivation behind?
okay. So like I said, I was doing other businesses and I'm still doing the other businesses. And obviously there's nothing wrong with them. So I had this thing to do something different. Once, and like I told you, the magic happened only after we got that TIE 50 certification. So I said, okay, maybe that's a message from the universe or some such thing that I should be thinking and looking to do something different. So why be content in doing X when you have been chosen, or you might have the ability to do X cube or X to the power of 10? See, like they say, we all work hard, right?
True.
Whether it's some person who's 100 times more experienced or richer or bigger than me, or somebody else who may not be that fortunate. All of us work hard. Who doesn't work hard? But everybody has chosen to do certain things, and we are living our life. And we some people get an option to take it up a couple of notches. Now, if you get that option, do you use it or do you let it pass? So I felt I was getting a chance, and why should I let it pass? Why not do that? And the other thing is, in the process, you end up helping people. For me, the startup, of course, I plan to earn money out of it. I'm not doing charity here, but it is more about helping people. See, today we are just about 10 years old with the digital, you know, tornado, I would say, where we are literally being bombarded with information. Do you think in the next 5 years it will become better, Kirtan? Do you think it will actually come down in the next 5 years?
It's going to be massive scales.
Exactly.
Healthcare.
Now, today, we all as human beings are already struggling handling all the data we have to deal with.
True.
Imagine 5 years down the road. So, there are solutions needed today to deal with it. In fact, there was a very interesting note I received and I read about it about 6 months ago. A kind of a trivia fact. Do you know the average human today, the amount of information we read or process in 1 week is more than the information which was read and processed by our ancestors as less as 40 years ago in 1 year.
Oh my God. Oh my
That's a
God.
crazy number. And it's growing exponentially.
True.
So
True.
people need solutions.
True.
You know,
True.
in economics, we learned the law of marginal utility. So in data, that is exactly what's happening. It's the law of marginal productivity. Data was meant to make us productive. It was making us productive to a certain extent. It's now jumped the hump and it's making us again non-productive. And we as humans need tools to get it back into the productive zone.
True, true, true. As you said about the tools and you said about the timing, right? So I really like that point. It actually triggered something in my head when I was actually watching some interviews. So specifically with the Google. So why they should be actually known for generations together? Because these are the people, they just did not created search engine or any tools or any things. They literally saved humans time. Otherwise,
Yes,
how much of time that would have required in order to go to a location earlier, asking people, going here, going there, or any tools, any things that what they are actually creating is saving time, and that is the
absolutely.
legacy, right? And when you said this, I was like, wow, fantastic! That's the same thing that what you're already doing, helping people, because that is like saving time is saving life, and saving
True, true.
life is super duper awesome, right?
No, no, we tell people, like for highlight, we kind of in a way commit to our customers that using highlight, you can save a minimum assured 120 hours per person per year every year.
Wow,
Can you imagine?
amazing.
Because there was a study done by Economic Times along with a global research major that every business loses 25% productive time because that's the time they spend in saving, searching, organizing, and managing information. Crazy. Now think about it, 25% of your time you're wasting just managing information.
True, true.
And highlight is here. We are like a small ocean, a small drop in the ocean, to help you save a minimum assured 6.5 or 7%. But even that small percent is 120 hours. Come on, what's the value of 120 hours for you?
Correct,
Think about it.
correct, correct. True, true. So because in India, so we only think of months and say salary time is only month to month. But as you said, 120 hours, like in US or in any other country, so hourly paid, they'll understand. Oh, this is the total amount of money that I'm saving in order
Yes,
to actually invest on a product or a tool that can actually help us. Like if we see any cheetah or tiger or any human. So cheetah can run really faster than humans. But the thing is that we are only capable only because of tools. It could be aeroplane, it could be cars, it could be anything, right? And as you rightly said, the future is all up for this. There is no doubt in that. Where the data will be really really massively coming in, and people need to actually make use of the tools in order to stay productive and stay relevant and stay quick as possible in that particular journey as well. So I'm really, really happy having you today and learning a lot from you. So if you guys are loving this, show some more and more and more loves and thumbs ups here in this live session. So give some thumbs ups and love, give some thumbs up and love. And if you guys have any questions, so we are almost at the end of this particular episode. If you guys have any questions, anything, you can actually just type it down in the comment box. I'll be very happy to ask your questions here in this show as well. So, would you like to give any closing remarks for the audience or anything that you want to actually share in this
Sure.
particular journey?
So, simple thing, good times come, bad times come, and neither one lasts. So, always look to the future because the future has a lot of things hidden for all of us, and we uh, we should always hope for something better. Because if you see, the best way to justify this, look at the last 50 years. Yes, there's some places where the world's not done great, but a lot of places life has grown, progressed, and we are making progress, whether it's technology, quality of human life, medicine, age, sustainability. There are a lot of places we are all growing as people. So the future holds a lot of surprises for us. Now, we all as humans have a choice. Do we want to lie back and see it happen on its own, or do we want to be part of the movement and help shape the future, what we want as the future?
True.
Now, so there's a famous saying: "Do you want to be the change you want to see?" You know. So, if you want the world to be a better place, you find something which is not right. Don't just sit and talk about it. Try and do something about it.
Fantastic.
What's the worst which will happen? You may not succeed. It wasn't happening anyway. But what if you succeed? You would have made a difference in the world.
True.
Don't leave that chance.
Fantastic, fantastic. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was really, really valuable session from your side for our whole community. We really, really enjoyed the whole session and look forward for more and more mentorship and more support for the community. So because you have already made it happen and you are already in that particular journey of supporting and making it happen. I got a question here. So one last question, sir. Okay. So
Sure,
Yashaswini has
sure.
asked this question. So, how to identify the right problem in the society? Should we approach people individually, or is there a process for that? So, she's, I think, asking about idea generation or like
Sure,
we do survey or anything like that.
sure. The best way is, if first, are you convinced it's a real problem? If you are, ask a random set of people who prefer, some who know you, some who do not know you. And very interesting question always. Okay, if I give you a solution to this, are you willing to pay for it? So that is a very good way to get validation that it's a genuine problem, and a solution would be a good idea. So ask a diverse set of people. Four people sitting in a room, you ask them, and they give you an answer influenced by each other may not be the best answer, but a diverse set is always a good answer.
Fantastic, fantastic. So I hope that it answered Yashaswini's question. So validate your idea just by seeing that whether people are willing to pay for that or exchange money for that, right? So that way you understand that it is truly creating any value or it could be just solving their problem, right? Like for example, like if Facebook would have told us like, would you be interested in paying? So we may not be interested in paying that, but say they actually found another way to actually monetize it through ads. So same thing is true with Google today. So but it's very important to actually validate our ideas through that, and it was really insightful on your journey and your story and lot more things about leadership, focus, productivity, and a lot of things. So thank you so much for joining in, Rajat ji. So all the way from Gujarat. So thank you so much for adding so much value. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirtan. You're doing amazing work. Keep up the good work. And if any of your students want to talk to me, please connect them. I'll be happy to talk to them. I enjoy talking to youngsters, and I'm happy to help if I am able to help in any way.
Fantastic. So we will be
Thank you.
putting the social media links of Rajat sir LinkedIn in the comment box here. So those of you who want to connect and get support, any other things that you want to communicate, you can actually reach out to him through LinkedIn or through email. So thank you so much, everybody. Look forward to see you in the next Inspiring Innovators Talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.